this way, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on?
Right.
So, I think we got way off from the mayor. Miss Joellen Reed, if you ever would like to come on Conversations in the Trap and have a conversation with yours truly, I'm truly open to it, and just let me know. I've been in your inbox once or twice, and I got no reply. So we'll move on into our second hot topic, which is...
For DMs.
What does that stand for?
Digital message.
Oh, is that it?
It took me forever, because then he talked about the song, and then I was like, DMs, what the...
Digital message.
Digital message.
I never...
And I think that's what it means.
Okay, it might not even...
Direct message.
This is
Maybe,
direct?
yeah, maybe,
I'm
maybe.
saying, I don't know.
You don't know either?
I don't know.
But it sounds good.
So, our second hot topic for the night is, we all heard about or seen the incident that happened on a Clark County school bus with the 17-year-old attacking a 12-year-old 7th grader on the bus. Now, I didn't want to watch the whole video, but I seen it, and, you know, he's my mom's neighbor. So, the question for the night is, do you think Clark County needs school bus monitors?
Aren't they already on all the buses? Or what's the thing? Is it if there's not enough?
Yes. When you said that's what we were going to talk about, I was shocked. That in 2023 that we didn't already have Fayette County has them. Other counties have bus monitors and have for years.
Now, when I was in high school, middle school to high school, they put cameras on the bus and a school bus monitor. But like the maturity between my age group then on school buses and what it is now, you know, we was way more mature than the kids is now. Like I was telling on the last episode, when we got off the bus, you had guys going to work, you had guys going to do what they had no business doing, but they was well knowing of what was going on. Today's kids get off the bus and they're like that, you know, they're on their phone, they're not
walk
really
out in front of you.
tuned to reality. So,
Yeah.
if they don't have them, do you think Clark County needs to have school bus monitors?
I do.
I do especially think that we need to have school bus monitors. I think that they especially need to be not for the elementary school age. I feel like having a middle schooler and a high schooler on a bus is harder to control just because of the frustrations that older children have. And the end of the day may be the final straw, and that may not even be the true person of who the child is. I don't know what was going on in her day. I don't know what was going on. I don't excuse the violence at all. But I do think that that could have been diffused earlier if there wasn't, if the bus driver, I believe, was he alone on the bus?
I'm guessing there was no school bus monitor on
So if there was a monitor, why didn't the monitor catch up on it while the bus driver is having the kids come on? And they maybe would have been able to diffuse that a little bit faster. And when I used to ride the bus, when we picked our seat, we sat there and we didn't get up and run back and forth.
That was what I was hearing.
So I just think,
do they have assigned seats?
no, there's not assigned seat. But when I used to get on bus 5 with Miss Alice and come down Patio Hill to go to my house, like when I got that seat, that was my seat and nobody else could take my seat, and that's where I was going to sit for that day. So the up and moving around, I think that's a problem, and I do think that there needs to be more monitors on the bus. Even I get it. There's people don't want to work, people that do want to work.
But like on my last episode, that's extra jobs though. You could have somebody. That's creating at least a part-time job.
It is creating an extra job, and for the pay that you get, but you have to think about the people that could spend that time during that. I worked for the Clark County Public School System for several years, and I still qualified for income-based housing. There's no way that I could work in the job that I did before and be able to afford the rent that is now in Winchester. So if I work on the school bus, that cuts off my food stamps that we are already short on, and that also cuts me and makes me have to pay more rent on top of losing food stamps, and it's a catch-22. And that's for a lot of people, and a lot of people run into that. But you would think that there would be more and you would be all right. But, I mean, times are hard. I think that they need to have more bus monitors. I think
Do
that
they either have more, or do they already have?
they have some, yes.
They do
have
have
some,
some. They do
yes,
have some.
most definitely. But the ones that they make sure that they are on are for the special needs children. They do have them on their buses because, you know, there are plenty of special needs children in Winchester. But, you know, it comes down to a money thing, but at the end of the day, it's your parents' responsibility. It is a privilege for you to ride a bus. You should have to sign a contract, just like you sign a contract to participate in a school play or a school activity. You sign a contract saying that you will act in a certain type of way, and if you don't act
Yes.
accordingly, you suffer consequences.
And
Well,
that you understand
and-
what those
and
parameters are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't need, when I was on the bus, you didn't have to sign a contract. If you acted up and the bus driver wanted you off the bus,
You
then
was
reported
put
it-
off.
He reported it to the school.
Yep.
Yes.
And then you was removed
Yeah,
from
put
the bus.
off.
Now, I know some bus drivers who that wouldn't have occurred on. They would have stopped.
Right. And got you together.
I think her name was Liz and Michelle McCaffrey.
Yeah, and Miss Diane.
Because they would have stopped the bus right then and there. So do you think they need school bus monitors, and why?
I do. I do think that they need at least one person on that bus who could help a driver, because if that driver hopefully is really concentrating on the road and the things that are going on around us, because you know they don't use turn signals here. They don't. And they usually probably don't stop when that big red sign comes out. But that bus driver needs a helper of some sort in other capacities. Not only keeping those kids in check, but, you know, look out for that car, he's not stopping, or, you know, I hate to see a bus driver tackle
Everything.
I don't have kids, and God knew not to let me have kids. But I like a teacher, that has to be a hard job. Those kids are at the end of the day, now in the morning I'm sure they're great. They're half asleep. But by the end of the day, they're either tired, mad, and hungry, and then you're gonna put them all on a bus and
Well,
send them away from that school with just one person who's trying to concentrate.
Trying to get them home.
So yeah, I do. I believe they need at least one person on every bus.
I never respected teachers more than I did when I was a kid than I do now, because if I don't feel like dealing with my kids on certain days, Lord knows that a person who they don't belong to does not feel like dealing with them when they own one, you know?
Yeah, you just give the teachers grace, give them grace, but also get them in check.
I had 3 of them today with me, and I looked at one, I said, you my favorite today, because them other 2 right there, they had me up here. My daughter, I said, every time she needs a nap, that little mouth gets real slick. So let's move on into our next hot topic, which is, do you mind apologizing to people? And reason why I'm asking this is because I did some things to some people, or said some things, actually more than likely said. I really don't do nothing. I've said some things to some people and I've offended them, but I've apologized to them. But they said that they accepted my apology, but they still hold on to the thing that I've said to them, which you don't have to forgive me, but why accept my apology if you're still going to bring up the situation at hand?
Cause they be mad.
And then recently, my brother, me and my brother, I put something on Facebook, and he just thought that he could comment on it and then not have a rebuttal back from me. But like I told him, I said, I apologize to you because somebody else had me upset, but I took it out on you. And I seen him read my message, and I got no reply, which made me almost say something else to him that was going to need an apology. But I just kept it back. So do you mind apologizing to people?
And that's a hard one for me.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
All right.
I have a character flaw, and I own it because it's mine and it's mine to bear. And it's not really a terrible character flaw, but I will be a true and dear. I will follow you through the gates of hell with a cigarette in my mouth looking for the devil's ass to light it from. I'll do that for you as a friend.
Yeah.
However, once you talk about me behind my back, or once you treat me less than, and cause me, because there's a temper, and I try to keep it here. It's called the Rhodus temper. And I can feel it when it gets here, and I will stop the conversation and say, look, it's here. And once it gets out, I can't be and I'm honest, I can't be responsible because it's pure rage that you're pulling out of me. But I done forgot the question.
What'd you call yours? What do you call it?
The Rhodus temper.
The Rhodus temper.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to
it.
Pastor King because he said keep that beast in the basement.
Thank you.
Them doors rumble and shake all the time.
Yes. But
I do try my best. Hey, there's my neighbor. We
Don't
live.
go-
We
yeah,
in
don't go-
here.
Don't, and they will.
The question was, do you mind apologizing?
I will apologize if I feel as though I have truly wronged you without cause.
I can apologize to somebody and not even if I know that they just need to hear it for them to move on, even if they were wrong, I do apologize because some part of me hurt your feelings. But I don't always feel that
I
same
don't do
way.
a whole lot to have to apologize.
Right.
I do.
I'll be like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's about it.
What I had to tell somebody was, I didn't apologize to you for you. I did it for me.
Thank you.
Because
That's why.
I felt wrong. So to get that hate or whatever that was in my heart,
Yes.
I had to apologize to you. But it was actually for me because if I offended you with what I said, 9 times out of 10, what I said was truthful.
Right.
And it was honest.
That's right. That's how the offense starts.
Yeah.
And you got mad because it hurt your feelings because it was truthful and honest towards you.
Yes.
But I apologize because when you got mad, it made me mad. And therefore, I'm sorry. You don't even have to accept it because I'm not doing it for you to accept. I'm doing it to get my heart right.
So do you want them to apologize to you after?
For what?
I'm just asking.
Just that. Well,
Like if you apologize to them and you say you can sense that, but like since they made you feel wrong and you said something maybe that offended them, do you still think that they should apologize to you?
Nah, because see, this is the difference right here. I said something to you. You did something to me. You see what I'm saying? I told you a fact about you or whatever the situation, and you got offended because it was correct and it was right. So therefore,